Hey, it's Denise, and this is your first time, but it's my second time shooting this video because for some reason, even though I shoot videos on my phone all the time, today YouTube decided that it didn't take the format that I shoot my videos in, even though it's the same phone I always use. So I set up my puppy's crate, and please forgive some of the stuff that's still in here that needs to be removed from the room. A couple folding chairs and stuff. The big thing that was taking up this whole big space that is going to essentially be her area was this. I mean, it probably qualifies as like an ancient relic, this old box spring that's been here since before I moved into this apartment. So a friend of mine with a truck and a Sawzall is going to come up within the next week or two. Keep in mind, my puppy won't be here till the end of January. So that will be removed before she gets home. So I just want to show you how I set it up. I wrangled this thing around like a lunatic for 2 days. If you're coming in the door, you come in, and so there's the crate. And then essentially, I used the puppy yard, puppy playpen, to give her essentially that whole end of the room. Well, which is like, I want to say a little more than a third, a little less than a half probably of the room in terms of walking into the room. Now, her crate. Now, I still want to shore things up a tiny bit. I just put this together by myself this evening. I was kind of excited and wanted to show you the design that I came up with as far as how to set up. This gate is a little bit sticky, which I know is the nature of these things, so just like bear with me. If you want, I still have the tags on things so I can show you. So like it clips a little when you bend it, but that's just because of, you know, how these like fence kind of hinges, when they move, they do bend. They do, you know, kind of catch. So this would be like the human gate where I can walk into her playpen area. It has two of these slide latches, this top one and then one also down towards the floor to keep it secure. So you see what I mean when it makes that noise when you open it. So okay, now that's open and I can walk in. Before I walk in, I want to show you that right here there's also, on this side of the crate, which is outside the playpen, a door. So without going into her playpen, I can let her into her sleeping area, which has a second door on the end. So this is a crate with an end and a side door. Now to me, like, this must be what it's like for left-handed people when they get handed right-handed scissors. Every way I tried to arrange this, it was like the doors were on the wrong side of the crate for how I wanted to do it. So that is part of why it took me forever to come up with the design, because it was like I wanted the door to be facing the door leaving the room. You know, so I wanted to be able to take her out of this end of the crate so that she would get the idea that walking out that way meant we were going to go outside for a potty break. As you can see, this kennel has a divider. So this side she doesn't have access to. But again, because the way that if I turned it around so that door was facing that way, then this door that I need to get her in would be flat against the wall. So that's what I mean, like, about it being like, you know, a left-handed thing versus a right-handed thing. It's, you know, it's not something you can change. So I just had to kind of get a little creative and change kind of where I thought I was putting it. But yeah, I like the idea that I can teach her that she can walk in here through her door, go into her sleeping area. It does, like I said, I went with the extra large crate because she's a standard poodle. She's going to be a big dog. Her mother is tall, you know, taller than average for a female, and her father is also tall. So I want a tall dog, and so that's why I'm going for this particular litter. So I didn't want to have to buy 2 crates. I went for the extra large crate with the, you know, that I could just divide it. Because if you make the area too big, the dog will just decide that oh, okay, I can sleep on this side, and then this side I can go to the bathroom. So you want their sleeping area to be big enough that they can, get up, turn around, get comfortable, lie down, and sleep. But that's about it. You don't really want it much bigger than that. Or else they'll be tempted to just use one side of it as a bathroom, and, then they don't have to worry about sleeping in wet. Now, my dog is coming from a trainer who litter box trains. I've mentioned that in, not a trainer, a breeder, I should say, who litter box trains her puppies, because a lot of them go to people who live in the city, who live in high-rise apartment buildings. In my case, it's actually going to work out because I'm going to be getting my puppy in the middle of the winter in the Adirondack Mountains, where it is very, very cold. We get a lot of snow and ice, and that's just not good for a very young puppy. So I don't want to take her out at 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning when it's 20 degrees below zero and windy and howling. And we have a problem with coy dogs around here. I don't want to be out there with a defenseless puppy and be surrounded by coy dogs in the middle of the night. So if she needs to know that in the house, it's okay to use the litter box if you need to. And here, this would be like from her perspective. You're walking in this door, you turn to the left, and then you're walking into the playpen area. Now I can stand back up to human height and get up from being at puppy height. So now we can close this door. So that would be the door into her crate from the outside. So that way, without going into her playpen area, I can get her in and out of her crate. And also when we're learning to love the crate, because you want them to love the crate, we can come in here and I can sit in the playpen area with her, and we can practice putting toys in the crate and tossing treats in the crate, and just learning that it is a great place to be and that it's her little private sanctuary. And hopefully that helps us get, every dog, people, there are people who don't believe in crate training, but most trainers will tell you that ideally you really should crate train your dog, because there will be times when you may have to, for whatever reason. Maybe you're having construction people in and out of your house because of a major plumbing issue, or your kitchen's being remodeled or whatever, and they're leaving the door wide open and they're walking in and out and they're strangers, and you just don't want your dog slipping out the door when no one's paying attention, or getting stepped on, or being afraid. Your dog should have a place that they feel like is their own little sanctuary. And if you train them from the beginning that the crate is never used as punishment, it is only used as their place. Fun stuff happens in there. There are special, chewy toys that you only get when you're spending time in there. That's how I want her to feel about her crate. So I then used, if you notice, with her crate door open, which, as long as she's using her litter box, which she should know how to use by the time she comes home from the breeder, I can just leave the crate door open, and then you can see there's a little bit of exposed wall. I'm going to have to get like the baby proofing covers, because there is an outlet there. So I'm going to have to get baby proofing covers for that. And then this is where I got creative. Instead of closing it in and with the playpen, which is you can see like from here to the wall, it's 24 inches. The playpen is made of 8 connected 2-foot panels. So having to bend it into the shape to fit around and then come so that the last panel connects to the side. And I have this on here really good. I have 4 zip ties attaching this last, what is the side of the door, the last panel of the playpen. I have 4 zip ties attaching it to the crate, going down. I've got 4 zip ties attaching it tightly to the crate. Then she's got, that will be her little litter box area over at the kind of far corner there, because you want that, not right near where she's sleeping or eating or drinking. You want to, you know, train that idea that you don't go to the bathroom where you sleep and eat. And then really she's got the rest of this area as play space. I did get the bowls that hang on these would work inside a crate as well. They're not very large, but they're just simple. They hang on the crate. You can put the water in there. It's just less likely to get spilled or knocked over than a bowl on the floor that, you know, one little touch with a paw can flip the bowl over. And there are two of them. I plan on initially, she's going to be training as a service dog, so initially she's going to kind of get the idea that all of her food comes from interacting with me, which means she's not really going to be eating her meals out of a bowl. She's going to be eating, like, we're going to divide out her dog food. You know, she'll be eating 3 times a day. We'll divide out her total amount into 3 portions, and I will hand feed them to her for interacting with me, for giving me eye contact, for, you know, as she starts to learn, for sitting, for staying, for, you know, just offering up behavior that I like, even though if we're not formally training that behavior. But yeah, so she's not going to really be eating food out of there unless it's a time that, for whatever reason, you know, remember, I'm getting a service dog because I am disabled. I do have health problems. If I'm just really not feeling up to it one meal of the day, then she will be able to, you know, she'll have a bowl there that she can eat out of, and she'll always have access to water. I don't like it when I see videos where people are like, well, if you're potty training your dog, make sure the last 3 or 4 hours before bed, you don't give them water. That way they don't have to go during the night. And, you know, yeah, that's wonderful for the human's convenience, but that's really not nice or healthy. You're essentially keeping your puppy dehydrated half the day. I know personally myself, I wake up during the night sometimes with a dry mouth. I always have a glass of water, or, you know, some sort of, I'm like a diet Snapple person. I always have some sort of beverage on my nightstand. So the thought that if I woke up thirsty during the night that I couldn't just get a drink, I don't think that's right, just for the human's convenience that they don't want to deal with, that the puppy then needs to urinate. So this, you know, like I said, this will be her litter box. It gets filled with little pine pellets that look almost like rabbit food, like they're kind of that size and shape, but they're made of just pine wood with no sort of chemicals or additives or anything. And they're kind of better than the puppy pads because they're not as interesting to play with. A puppy pad is more interesting to pick up and swing around and chew on. So you don't want that, obviously. You want them to just see it as boring. And for people who are concerned, like, oh, if you let her learn to, you know, to use the litter box, then she'll never be trained, you're way underestimating a dog's intelligence. My 15-year-old Beagle started having trouble holding his urine all night when he was about 13. Now, he had been housebroken his whole life without any problems. But at about 13, sometimes he couldn't hold it all night anymore. So I started putting down puppy pads. He instantly knew what they were for and started using them. And, you know, it's been 2 years now, and I would say maybe twice a week he uses them. Now, they're down all day, all night. There's always a clean pad on the floor in the living room, which is where he tends to hang out, my little king of the couch. And this way, it's just treated as a non-event. You know, there's no shame in using the puppy pad, just like there will be no shame in using the litter box. Now, as far as going outside and going potty, that will be rewarded as a positive behavior. I'm going to be clicker training plus using a reinforcer word. You know, I'm going to be using the word yes along with the clicker, because there are going to be times you don't, even if you want to clicker train, there are going to be times you realize you don't have a clicker with you. So it's a good idea to have that reinforcement word that the dog knows means the same thing as hearing the clicker go off. But so there won't be a clicker or anything for using the litter box. but there also won't be any sort of correction or, implication that it was bad behavior. It just is what it is. If she needs to go, she uses the litter box. But when we go outside and she goes, it'll be, clicker, yay, wonderful dog, here's a treat, you're awesome. So of course she's going to learn that she'd rather do that. She'd rather hold it and go outside once she's old enough and can do that, because she knows she'll get a treat for it. So I don't anticipate any problem. Plenty of people do this. And, like people who work all day, on the days they're home, their dog doesn't really use the litter box or puppy pad. But on days that they might be at work for 8 or 9 hours, when you figure in their commute, the dog knows that if it needs to use it, it's not in trouble for using it. That it's, like I said, it's treated as a non-event. So this is what we got. And I know it's hard to get perspective sometimes of the size, but again, this is a big crate. This, like I said, it was an extra large crate. Once she's fully potty trained, not having any accidents within her area consistently, that might take a couple months. Then I'll take the divider out and she can have the whole crate, so she'll have a bigger sleeping, hanging out area. She'll still then have her play area and her I'm not taking away the litter box at that point. It wouldn't be until I'm 100% sure she's completely housebroken. And dogs have to earn being in other parts of the house, because at first it'll be like, oh, the crate is my house, that's where you don't go to the bathroom. Then she'll learn, oh, this whole area here, my whole, playpen area, that's my house. You only use the potty, in the designated area. You don't go anywhere else in the house. Then eventually she'll learn that this whole room, my desk is in here, it's behind me, so that I can be sitting in here, and she'll learn that I can be in here and I won't necessarily be fussing over her all the time, because she needs to learn as part of her socialization that not everyone who sees her has to stop what they're doing and interact with her. Just like you want her to be receptive to socialization, she also has to accept that there are people who don't want to stop what they're doing and interact with her, and she can't make a big deal, and she can't whine, and she can't cry. And again, she's a puppy. Do I expect her to get that right away? No, but that is the goal that we'll be training towards. So I'll be able to sit in here, be doing stuff on my computer, which I'm going to move from my bedroom to here when she gets here. And also that way I can be keeping an eye on her and rewarding good behavior, like quietly sitting and keeping herself busy with a chew toy, while also keeping an eye on the chew toy, because you don't want to leave them with, that they could chew a big piece off or they could break the toy. It's a good idea to be keeping an eye. But yeah, so this is the setup I have. I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like it gives her a lot of space. When I was trying to cover every inch of the wall, I mean, like I said, you can see this one section of wall where that outlet is, doesn't have fence. So I am going to have to get the outlet protector, but it just made me able to give her basically the whole width of the room and about 1/3 of the length of the room, which is a lot more area than she would have had otherwise. And like I said, she's a standard poodle, so she is going to get kind of big pretty quickly, and I didn't want her in a tiny space that I was going to be having to try to adjust and change really quickly. So here is this is the brand on the exercise pen. I ordered it from Amazon. I thought there was still a tag on the crate. Maybe there isn't. I believe I ordered the crate from Petco because it was actually cheaper. Oh wait, there is it. It's hanging on the door. I see it over there. Walk back into our little playpen area. So yeah, okay. This is just telling me how to properly lock the gate. Okay, yeah, sorry that it's not telling you. I think I think most people can figure out how the little slide lock works. I thought this was telling you something about the brand name, but it's not. Anyway, though, it's, it's a folding collapsible metal crate with a divider, and it's an extra large size. So that's that. And the litter box is also a dog litter box. Petco carries them. Amazon carries them. So Fresh with PH instead of F for the fresh is the brand that I got just because the breeder recommended it. If you see, it's got like that little cutout step in the front to make it easy for like a short puppy to be able to climb in there easy. That it's not hard for them to get in and out of the litter box while they're still small. So I did go with just what, I want it to be as close to what she's used to at the breeders. I want there to be, obviously she's leaving her litter mate, she's leaving the humans she knows, she's leaving her biological mother. So anything that I can keep the same, not to confuse her, I wanted to keep the same. And I want her to be comfortable, and I want it to be, like I said, room that I can sit in here with her. And now I feel like we have that because we have, the full width of the room. Like a twin size bed could fit in here essentially in this playpen area to give you a better idea of the size. And this way I can sit in here and play with her, and her crate, is on the outside. It's not taking up space inside her playpen area, which maximizes her play space and her hanging out, being able to relax space. So I hope you found this informative. If I make any adjustments to it, like once I get her, if I find anything with how it's set up isn't working for me, I will definitely do a video on that. If I feel like I have to, I don't know if you can hear it, the sound of water running. My AeroGardens are out in the hall right outside that door, and the watering cycle comes on for 15 minutes out every hour. So if it sounds like a waterfall, that's what you're hearing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to my friend coming up with their truck and just getting rid of that ancient, like I said, that ancient box spring that I have just up against the wall in the bed frame there on the floor. I was just cleaning up, so I have a garbage bag I got to get out of here. And you can see the remains of my holiday decorating that is now all stacked on my desk. So yeah, once I get all the pumpkins and stuff off there, when she moves in, I'll move my computer in there from my bedroom so that I'll have all the more reason to hang out in here with her. And that's that. As always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. I really hope it's going to let me upload the video this time. And please take the time to give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. If it's your first time here, welcome to my channel. I don't think I even said hi, it's Denise at the beginning of the video. Like I said, I had already shot it once, and I was so annoyed that it wouldn't upload that I think I was a little frazzled when I came back in and tried again. So yeah, I'm Denise. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, thank you. And if you're someone who's watched them before, welcome back. So please hit this like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out my other playlists. Actually, the puppy playlist is my newest. My other playlists are gardening, primarily hydroponic, and some container gardening, and a little bit of occasional outdoor normal gardening, but mostly hydroponic and container gardening. Also, I am disabled, and I was a nurse for 26 years before my neck injury. So I do sometimes just do sort of opinion or informational videos about things having to do with health or disability. So I have a playlist of that, and sometimes other topics, random topics will get tossed in there. That's sort of, just my opinion, I think is roughly the name of the playlist. And then I have a playlist of, actually my longest playlist is unboxings and reviews of various products, all kinds of products, everything from health and beauty to cleaning stuff, for your house, to stuff for your pets, to you name it, snack food, all sorts of unboxings, some gift box subscription boxes. So I have a playlist of that. So check them all out if you haven't yet. And again, I truly do appreciate every time someone subscribes, likes, shares the video if they think it might interest someone, and hit that notification bell. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do you feel me staring at you? Okay, I'll stop staring at you. Have a great day, and thank you again for watching.